Friends, it's September 2025. The heat of summer is fading, and with it comes that collective anxiety every hockey fan knows well. The countdown to the start of the NHL season. In Toronto, the mood is one of expectation, but also of pressure. After yet another early playoff exit, the Leafs enter this new cycle knowing exactly what they are missing: more offensive firepower among their top six forwards. And it's in this very context that a proposal emerges that, at the very least, deserves our attention. Heavy.com floated the idea of a straight-up trade between two players who, interestingly enough, represent the opposite needs of their teams. The Toronto Maple Leafs would acquire Brett Howden, while the Vegas Golden Knights would receive Brandon Carlo. A one-for-one deal, no draft picks, no additional pieces. Just two teams trading what they have in surplus to fill what they lack most. It sounds simple, but every detail of this equation reveals much deeper layers. From Toronto's perspective, bringing in Brett Howden makes perfect sense. He is a 27-year-old center with enough versatility to play on the left wing, precisely where the Leafs have a clear gap. Last season, wearing Vegas gold, Howden scored 23 goals, added 17 assists, and totaled 40 points in 80 games. Not bad at all for someone who wasn't among the team's top stars. And when the playoffs arrived, he chipped in with 3 goals, despite still playing at a high level, representing he doesn't shy away from big moments. Now imagine inserting that production into a roster that already has Matthews, Tavares, and Nylander. Suddenly, Toronto's offense gains a whole new dimension. On top of that, Howden's contract makes the move even more attractive. He's entering the first year of a 5-year $12.5 million deal, averaging just $2.5 million per season. In a league where cap space is almost a luxury commodity, that's the kind of contract that opens doors for reinforcements without handicapping the payroll. But for every addition, something valuable must be sacrificed. And in this case, the cost would be Brandon Carlo. The 28-year-old right-shot defenseman has qualities you'll never see in a box score, but every coach dreams of having on the ice. Last season, he played 83 games, recorded just 1 goal and 11 assists, modest numbers, but misleading ones. Carlo is the guy you notice when the other team doesn't score. He's physical, smart, a penalty kill specialist, and capable of logging 25 minutes a night against top competition. He's a kind of defenseman who defines a team's defensive identity. And if Toronto can afford to part with Carlo, it's because their blue line is crowded. They currently have 9 NHL caliber defensemen, including Morgan Reilly, Chris Tanev, Oliver Ekman-Larsson, Jake McCabe, and more. Someone had to be used as trade capital, and respected analyst Nick Kypreos had already highlighted Carlo as the most logical candidate. After all, right-shot defensemen with size and experience are always in demand. On the other side of the deal, the Golden Knights face their own urgency. After years of leadership, Alex Pietrangelo announced his retirement from hockey. Constant physical struggles and tough medical advice forced him to step away, ending a brilliant career that included 2 Stanley Cups. The void left by Pietrangelo is massive, and Carlo appears to be the perfect piece to fill part of that gap. He won't be Pietrangelo, no one will, but he can offer the kind of stability Vegas needs to remain competitive in a ruthless division. Now, picture Knight's defensive core with Carlo paired with Shea Theodore, while Alec Martinez and Nicholas Hague round out the rotation. It's an immediate, solid adjustment that ensures security for a team still aiming to contend for another Stanley Cup. The big question is, should Toronto really move on from Carlo so soon after paying a steep price to get him? It's undoubtedly a risky decision. But the reality is that without a meaningful offensive reinforcement, the Leafs risk repeating the same mistakes of recent years. Howden may not be a direct replacement for Mitch Marner, but he brings speed, versatility, and scoring ability. He could slide into the second line alongside Tavares and Max Domi, leaving the first line to Matthews, Nylander, and Bertuzzi. That setup not only balances the lineup, but also gives head coach Sheldon Keefe more options in the power play rotation, and even in the penalty kill, since Howden has a track record of contributing in those situations. The human side of this trade can't be ignored either, because ultimately, it stems from the absence of giant Alex Pietrangelo. The image of him saying goodbye, emotional, recalling 17 years of career, camaraderie, and battles, is a vivid reminder how hockey is a sport that goes far beyond the ice. It's about legacy, about knowing when to stop, and about how each decision affects not only players, but fans, families, and the future of an entire franchise. And that's where the beauty of this trade takes on another layer. For Toronto, it's the search for goals. For Vegas, it's the search for defense. Two teams trying to balance themselves, trying to fix their flaws, and perhaps, in the process, giving each other exactly what they need. Of course, there are risks. And here's where I ask you, the fan, would Howden be consistent enough to take on this role in Toronto? Or would the Leafs once again be betting on a secondary piece when what they truly need is a star? And Vegas, would they be giving up too much offense just to patch their defense? Whatever the answer may be, one thing is certain. If this trade happens, it won't just be about two players. It will be about strategy, about identity, about how you build a team that truly believes it can win the Stanley Cup. And when the season begins, only the ice will tell us if this gamble paid off. Until then, all we have is speculation, expectation, and above all, the certainty that NHL drama never disappoints.